Let's go ahead and start this analysis with a slow-mo view at about a quarter speed. We'll play it a couple of times so you can see what's going on. Let's do it one more time. Take a look. We'll play it again. See a lot faster backswing on the left. A lot smoother on the right. Now if we go to full speed here, what you'll notice is that it's not quite so noticeable. That's why it's important to slow it down a little bit so you can really see the tempo and the timing. We'd like the tempo and the timing to be the same with all the clubs, and you can see a big difference here between those two swings. Let's do the analysis now after we've talked about tempo. With the swing on the left, let's go back to the setup position here on the swing on the left. The red lines represent the spine tilt, which is at 42 degrees, which is just about perfect. We'd like to be somewhere between 1 and 2 o'clock, or somewhere between 33 and 66 degrees, and he's kind of halfway in between there. Nice setup. Hands are hanging straight down from his shoulders. Now it looks like his feet are wide open to the target line, and they are, but his shoulders are in a pretty good position. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more of the lead arm, but you can barely see it there, so it's okay. The blue line represents the swing plane, the bottom blue line of the club. The top blue line represents the swing plane of the shoulders, or the turn plane. So let's go ahead and watch on this left side here, see what happens. We'll just move the left side. We're going to take it back. Now see what he's doing here is he's lifting the club up pretty abruptly. So the club is way outside the hands here. The hands are staying on the plane nicely, but the club is outside the hands, and the toe of the club is still shut. He needs to let the club rotate. As he turns back, you don't rotate the club. You actually allow it to maintain the same relationship it has to your body. So at this point right now, the toe should be considerably more up than it is right now. Now he goes to the top of the swing plane, right about here, and you can see that the club is a little too steep right in here, hasn't laid it off. But what he's done here, he's almost in a perfect position. His spine angle has maintained itself at the 42 degrees. His right elbow is down parallel to the plane, or really close to the spine plane. And the lead arm is parallel to the upper blue line. That's a great position to be in. Kept the flex in the right knee, and the left heel is just a little bit off the ground. He's in a really good position. What we want to see him do from this point now is to route the club back down like this and underneath the blue line, the club head. But instead what he's going to do is he's going to come down way outside that line. So what he's doing is he's turning his shoulders first rather than his hips. So he's unloading from the top rather than driving from the ground. So he's coming across the ball, loses his spine angle, because where else is he going to go but up, and he's going to end up hitting the ball off to the right a little bit. I think what he needs to do is learn how to drop the hands from this point right here, drop the hands straight down as he's moving the left hip a little bit towards the target, or what they call moving the hip out of the way, so that he can drive into the ball from inside the plane rather than on top of the plane. Now let's go over to the online view. What we've drawn in is what we call the power line. That's the line that our spine needs to be on at impact. That's created by where our head is versus our lead foot. Now we're going to watch this takeaway here. Takes it pretty good back, but again you can see that what he's done here is he's left the club a little shut. Let me see if I can move this over. The club is still a little bit shut. Not bad position there. Turning in a good plane. Notice he's got a good L position right there. He's turned into it very nicely. Set the club well. Got a little bit of hip turn. Notice the left knee moving a little bit to the right knee. That's a pretty good move. Now we're going to see if he shifts the lead hip out past the yellow power line. A little bit of shift there, not too bad. Then he just stops. See how he's kind of stuck? Notice that the right knee hasn't moved at all. We need to get that right knee out past that yellow line. What he's doing is he's straightening, the left knee, left knee. He's straightening the left knee and ending up pivoting too early. He's in a good impact position, not bad, but what he does really nicely right here is look at the extension down the line and finally brings the hips through to a nice, powerful finish. So we can just get him to get a little bit of a hip bump that way so that he moves in past the power line so he can keep his head behind the ball more. Notice that the head at impact hasn't moved back at all. We actually need to increase our spine tilt at impact to be more along that line there. And what he's done is he's staying pretty upright and not able to get powerfully behind the ball.